Andrew. You feel that? You feel that? You feel that?
Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
We can talk. You and I can talk.
Oh, man.
Finally get in a word edgewise.
School's out for summer. Is that how the song goes? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not cool.
School's out for ever. For those of you listening, Adam.
Yes.
Adam, Kate, and Holland, our hen-pecking mother, is not here today. It is Mother's Day, so his family let him have the day off. We let him have it. We let our mother have the day off today. So, yeah, Adam was doing stuff with the family. We had to tape this on Sunday because I'm going to be in Los. It was a mess. It was a rigmarole. We were going to skip it, but then Andrew and I says, you know what? Why don't we just do an episode together?
We got a special episode, so let's get into it on this very special episode of Advice Fight.
Yes.
We're here to help most who just fine. Advice Fight. I think I'm wrong, but I know I'm right. Advice Fight. I say advice, you say fight. I say advice, you say fight. Advice, fight, advice, fight, advice, fight, advice, fight. Advice Fight.
Well, everybody, welcome to Advice Fight. My name is Ben Roy.
I'm Andrew Orvidal, and it feels good to go second.
It does, doesn't it? Do you see the spot I'm in now? You feel it, and now
Feels
I'm where
good.
Adam was. And it
Feels
is
good.
very cool on this side of the bed. The sheets and the pillows are cool. There's a nice little worn divot
300
where
count
Adam was.
sheets over there.
Yeah. Adam sleeps nice. But welcome to Advice Fight. This is the world's first and only. We're going to say that we've never really looked or checked.
Tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're wrong.
We're the world's first and only and biggest competitive advice podcast. And man,
Yeah, normally if you'd be listening to this, we would take a letter from a listener. We'd read the letter. We'd break it down. We'd give some competitive advice. We'd vote. There'd be a winner. It's very close, all that. But this is a bye week because Adam had to do Mother's Day nonsense, and Ben and I gave up on our mothers long ago. So,
well, here's the thing. You and I are both single people. I mean, we're single. We are not, meaning we are not married.
yes,
any
that is
longer.
what single means.
Yes. Well, I don't like saying that because I am seeing somebody, so I don't want to. You know what I mean? I don't want to take that
Say
route.
divorced in a relationship. How about that?
Exactly. And so, but you and I are not, we're not having to do the family thing right now. The kid is absorbed with spending time with the other parent. So you and I were left to do this episode together. And I got to say, it's been a long time. We did a show recently together where it was you and I, and Adam was doing whatever the fuck Adam
Always fun.
does.
Yeah, who knows? We went down to Lone Tree. We were in between a mega church and a Spine One therapeutic center.
How did you got the lay of the land that I didn't get? Is that
I
true?
always do before a show. I do a little recon. I got to know what I'm going to be riffing on for my local references. But guess what? The crowd didn't like me that much, so they didn't get any local references. You have to be enjoyable for me to do local references.
I didn't know that Lone Tree was a thing. I didn't know that was the name of a
like
place.
A secret neighborhood. I thought that was Highlands Ranch, but I guess
I thought it was Highlands Ranch.
It's its own subdivision. If you're not in Colorado, you're on the edge of your seat with this breakdown.
But we did the show, and there were quite a few Grawlix fans and Advice Fight fans, and holy crap, do we appreciate that. I can't even, I'm not going to swear. I'm just going to say, holy crap-a-noli, were we pretty excited. And so it was super cool that you all came out. And so Andrew and I got to hang out, tell jokes, do that show. And then little do we know, 2 days later, 48 hours later, you and I are doing the podcast together alone.
We've never done it with Adam.
without
Can I just say, podcasting with Adam, it's like there's some sort of predatory bird in the room. It's like podcasting with a giant owl watching you, and it feels good.
And you respect him, and you're excited that he's out. But then when they take their eyes off you for a little bit, I feel good that we can kind of move around a little bit. I think he rolls his eyes a lot at me.
There's a lot of implied judgment. There's a lot of subtext.
For
with the
sure,
critiques.
that guy is judging constantly. He's got his judging owl eyes on. But I do hope he doesn't come back. So what we're doing with this episode
today, we're doing something. We're going to break the format. We got a special little weird episode.
Yeah, we want to stick with the advice. We want to keep giving advice. We still want to talk about.
I mean, we're professionals. We should be doing what we're good at.
This is what we want to do. I do this in my free time. I just like to get out and give advice and
in
do
line
it pro
at the
bono.
Trader Joe's. Hey, those shorts are doing nothing for your caboose, bud. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you should. Hey, I know that she's your mom, but I don't think you should let her talk to you like that. And I think it's important you stand up now.
Couldn't help but overhear the conversation. Well, one of my favorite things.
College is what it used to be, and I think your parents are forcing you into something you shouldn't be. But anyway, so
one of my favorite things on the internet, one of my guilty pleasures, you might say, is a little thing called "Am I the Asshole?" Maybe some of you are already familiar with this. Maybe some of you aren't. This is something where people write in. I get my "Am I the Assholes" on Reddit, which might be where they originated. I'm not sure. But
it sounds like
all
a Reddit thing.
It's on Reddit, and so people. They ask their community, am I the asshole? And I love reading these, even though 90% of the time...
How big is Reddit now?
The answer is a resounding yes. Yeah, Reddit is everything. Like now when you Google something, it's like, well, this is what most people on Reddit say. I'm like, this is how we've evolved for information. Whatever the most people on like a toxic bulletin board say.
What do you think Reddit gets for daily traffic?
It's got to be insane, especially now that it's like the number one reference point for all these AI search engines. But
is it really?
People are so unpleasant on Reddit. The few times I've posted on Reddit, the interactions, something about Reddit, it just brings out the most dick-facedness in everyone.
Reddit has approximately that it reports. Holy cow, 121.4 million daily active users. We're
crazy. Right behind him, though, with Grolix Comedy on Instagram. We're right behind him.
Yeah, we are definitely right. So Andrew pointed this subreddit out to me, and
I was like, you and I should tackle some of these.
Yeah.
We're two authorities on assholes. You and I.
And I thought, how many are there going to be? There were like 1,000 just today.
Oh, it's huge. It is I think it's one of the most popular subreddits on there.
I think there's like 2.5 million subscribers, I think I read.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me that people are but it's also, these are really interesting. And if you have not checked out this thread, you should. They're really interesting because there's a lot of very common themes, but B, a lot of things I think that we've all kind of had questions
to tackle. Yeah. I mean, it's not unlike this podcast. If you are a longtime listener or fan of this podcast, a lot of the letters we get are essentially, "Am I the asshole?" but they're just not phrased as such. But it is people asking for advice, like in so many words. But they've kind of distilled it down to like, look, tell me right now, am I the asshole in this situation or not? So I wanted to ask you first off, Ben, very first off, do you have one for me right now?
I do.
All right.
So,
hit me.
So today.
Ooh, today,
Mother's Day. I'm in the Whole Foods parking lot here in town. I'm stopping to get some food, and I am parked behind another car. Now, this Andrew can attest.
Let me describe. I know what parking lot you're referring to. It's in this neighborhood called Cherry Creek. The worst neighborhood in Denver. This Cherry Creek North neighborhood. It's it's full of the worst, like awful, wealthy, selfish asshole people. I used to be a bike messenger, and anytime I had to go into Cherry Creek North, I was like, here's where I die. These people, they do not give a fuck. They're living in their own world, their own bubbles. It's a terrible spot.
And the parking lot is far too small for this Whole Food for how big the neighborhood is around it and everything. Mm-hmm. And so I'm waiting. It's prime time for people going shopping. I'm waiting, driving around. I see two cars exiting a spot. There's one car waiting. I'm behind it. They're waiting for one of the spots. It's two cars side by side leaving at the same time. The car in front of me pulls into the one that first becomes available. I pull into the second. As I'm pulling in, I see this car coming down the lane, and he's acting like he's
in the opposite
towards me.
Yeah, okay.
And he's acting like he's going to take it, and I'm closer, and I've been waiting, and I was like, and I put my finger up, my middle finger, admittedly, and then I pulled into the parking spot, and I stopped, and I see the guy stop. The car stops right behind me. And
what kind of car was this? Give us every detail.
Porsche. It was a Porsche.
I feel like that is a salient detail. Thank you.
It was a Porsche SUV. And so the dude
worst,
gets
the
out.
worst style of Porsche.
Yep.
For the person who truly doesn't know how to spend their money. Okay.
Dude gets out and is instantly irate. I mean, like, so fucking mad, so pissed. He goes, "What the fuck are you doing? I've been waiting for that fucking spot." I mean, he flipped the fuck out. Am I the asshole for taking that spot?
I mean, you gotta level with this right here. I mean, honesty is crucial. Was he queued up in that spot?
Not that I saw. I did not see him. I was waiting for a while behind the other car.
Okay.
So I don't know.
It's usually pretty
Honda
obvious
Fit.
if someone is perched
I
up.
did not see another car because when I turned, I was parked at an angle so I could see down that aisle. I did not see him there. That guy was not waiting in the aisle right there.
Well,
and when we came to it, we were pretty close to at the same time, but I was closer to it, so I took it. Am I the asshole?
I don't think you are, man. I don't think you're. Like, if he was truly waiting and you, like, zoomed in, we've all seen people do that. In that case, I'd be like, yeah, dude, you poached a spot. If you didn't see him there, and you genuinely didn't, even if he was there and you didn't clock it, you didn't do it maliciously and you didn't do it on purpose. You're not the asshole. He's the fucking asshole. Also, your ass has a fucking Porsche SUV. Use the pay parking garage nearby,
Dude,
motherfucker.
He goes, "I've been waiting for that fucking spot. My baby's in the car." I was like, what the fuck does it turn
What does
the
that
AC
even mean?
on, dude? What does that have to do with anything? And then he was like, "Get your foot, move out of that fucking spot." And I was like, "Dude, I've been waiting for that." And he goes, he got in my fucking face, and he was a couple inches shorter than me, but this dude was racked. Like, he was in really good shape. He was well built, and he's screaming in my face.
I thought that was for like giant boobs.
No. He's just jacked, And in my head, right. I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, could I take this guy? Do I want to fight this guy? Yes, I have done probably 2 decades of martial arts, but I've never fought.
Specifically training for a parking lot altercation like this?
No, I've not trained for parking lots. I've not trained. So part of me is like, do I just give him the spot? Also, if we get in a fight, there's always a cop at that Whole Foods.
And if his baby is really in the car, what? He's like in handcuffs?
His wife was sitting there. His wife was sitting in the car. He was making a huge, dude flipped. I was like, calm the fuck down. And he's like, I'll beat your fucking ass right here. His neck, like the veins coming out of his neck. And I was like, calm the fuck down, dude.
God, I wish you would have absolutely tapped this dude right in the Whole Foods parking lot.
Listen, in the end,
you just bend him right over the hood of his Porsche Cayenne, put him in a fucking arm bar. Oh, how satisfying.
But in the end, he was like, "Move your fucking car." And I was like, "I was here first, dude. I was waiting." And he got in my face, and I was like, dude, chill the fuck out. And I was like, you know what? Fine, take it. There was another spot I could see, and I just backed up and moved to the other spot. And and he pulled
did you
in
see
and
him? Did you see him inside the store later?
I
That'd
did
be
not.
Funny.
I did
You're
not.
both
I got
like reaching for the same thing of brie. You motherfucker! You motherfucker! I had my eyes on that brie.
So I appreciate that. I did not see him. I would have never taken it. I'm not that guy. If someone's waiting, even if it means I have to drive around.
It's a personal honor thing. You know when you've done it and when you haven't.
I did not, and I am not that type of person.
You're not the asshole.
I would
absolve
also
you.
Tell anybody who has taken martial arts, even if you have or has not, even if you think you're a tough guy and you think you could take him, don't. It's not worth it, because if that cop shows up or anything, it becomes a whole fucking mess.
Also, you're just like a lone tattooed guy with a family, and the family's like, yeah, this guy took our spot and then he attacked my husband, and suddenly, you're in handcuffs.
Yeah, it's not worth it, but it was pretty hilarious. And I was on the phone with somebody. It was on speakerphone because I was talking to somebody. And the thing I did appreciate was that person was like, I am impressed at how calm you stayed in the middle of all that. And I was like, well, what's he going to do? He's going to start hitting me. I'll start hitting back. One of us may win. One of us may lose. It probably could have been him. I mean, he was pretty strong, dude. I don't know.
But that doesn't mean anything in a fight. That doesn't mean anything in a fight.
I would have left him with a limp or something like that. He would have had something. But
he would remember you. That's how I put it. He would remember you.
But anyway, so that was it. Do you have one real quick before we get to it?
I was trying to think of one, and I guess I've been living right because I can't think of one.
You don't see anybody, Andrew.
I can't. Yeah, it's pretty easy to never be the asshole as long as you sequester yourself away.
You don't have. Do you have one from the past though?
I don't know if I. I'm trying to think of one that jumps to mind, but nothing. Nothing is really coming to mind where I was like, I wonder if I'm. I guess I'm just living with a
you've been like,
moral
I was an
clarity. I don't know. Well, you've known me for 22 years. Maybe you know of one that you could.
Oh, I know of plenty. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you just tell me one, and then I'll see if I was the asshole.
Part. I don't want to keep doing all the work. But I do think that you've been the asshole, and then there's other times where I've been like, no. But one thing I will say about you, Andrew, you're one of the best. Adam and I have had this conversation. You are amazing. And for people listening out there that are fans of the show, Andrew is amazing at calling himself out when you fuck up, or if you've done something or behaved in a manner that you weren't proud of, or you felt like you were in the wrong. You're really good at that, at least with us.
As the asshole, yeah. Well, thanks. I'm trying to think of one. God, if one comes to mind, I'll let you know, and I'm sure we'll probably do more of these. But we have some juicy ones from Reddit. But real quick, let's take a break. Let's take a little act break. Pay some bills. Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/GrollickSaves. All kinds of bonus content on there.
We got more video of Andrew burping through sentences. If you want to. If you want to stay through it.
Incredible. I just ate a bunch of Lebanese food with garlic sauce, and it's not the meal. It's not the meal before a podcast. I'll tell you that.
Before an evening podcast. But I will say we've been doing this. We've been doing these fourth acts, these act fours, where we've been going through and we've been breaking down episodes of Those Who Can't. Episode by episode throughout the seasons. Check it out if you get a chance. These are super fun. They're really interesting to go walk down memory lane of all of these. And so check out our Patreon page, and we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we're going to answer a few of these Reddit "Am I the Asshole?" questions, and this is going to be a fun one. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Act 2. Thanks to the magic of podcasting. Zero time has elapsed. Zero time.
We literally just...
I'm done burping through sentences. I'm done
No, you're not. You're not, dude. You were going to say off. Go on with that riff.
Off-roading through sentences. Yeah, that's what it feels like. You know?
Oh yeah, you were in your fucking 4x4, your digestive 4x4. Yeah.
The worst is when that happens when you're doing stand up on stage. You're like in the middle of a bit. You're like,
Who had that
anyway.
great bit? There was it was John Mulaney. Mulaney, how he has a bit about how he's reached the age where he talks through burps now, and it's very funny.
Yeah.
Where you start sucking in
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do it.
Well,
I can't
anyway,
help it.
we are here.
We've got
now,
some that we pulled from the subreddit AITAH. Am I the asshole here?
Subreddit. Now, real quick, just for the sake of this episode, for everybody wondering, we are all tied up, I believe, as the podcast goes. So none of these are going to count. We're not debating
this isn't
these
our
like
usual
that.
competitive advice. This is just us. Chiming in.
We're honoring it. We love to podcast. We love doing this podcast. We love to chit. We love to chat. We love to do it all. And so we wanted to do this episode. And Adam, like I said, Adam's going to family, whatever. So this will just be us giving advice. Maybe we'll debate it. I imagine we will, because Andrew and I secretly hate each other. Oh, I'm about to talk through a burp myself.
Look at that. Look at
There
that.
it is. I got the bubbly water, and that happened. But anyway, so we're gonna go forward. Who goes first? Who's coming with the first?
I'll read
Reddit?
one. These are kind of meaty. The people on Reddit, they don't have the brevity that our loyal listeners do, where they can like condense an idea down to a goddamn paragraph. So they're meaty. I'll just tell you right now. But I'll read this one through.
I don't like the way you say that, but they're meaty.
Meaty.
Yeah.
They're meat. These are like the Arby's of advice here.
Oh, okay. That's where you're going. Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling? Yeah, sorry, I didn't steer it blue for you.
You know what I like, but I'm not going to do it because Adam's not here. So it's not as fun when he. I just don't enjoy it as much when he's
that
not.
reaction.
Yeah. But for those of you that are listening, normally we would be timing it. We'd be doing the talk to gun. We're not today. We're just going to talk through these. We're going to read these out, and I'm excited for. Andrew and I don't know what each other picked. We came with a couple of our own. We're not sure. So, Andrew, hit me with your first one. I'm really curious.
These. And like Ben said, these were left like today. There's so many to choose from. Okay, here's one. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that my money isn't our money? I've been dating my girlfriend for over 2 years. I earn $95,000 a year working in corporate finance, and she's a final year. I shouldn't read it in this voice because I'm already kind of editorial. Yeah. And she's a final year law student. I'll try not to editorialize with my voice.
Side note, I would love for once. When someone's like, so anyway, then he was like, you know what I mean? Like, I for once would love to meet somebody and they actually talk like that. And you're like, oh, you were
They're
just
the person's voice.
Yeah.
Hey, my name's Rick. So how do you two know each other?
All right, keep going.
Sorry, I got here late, but everybody likes guacamole. It's like, what?
I'm telling you, the people who listen to this podcast are stoked, Andrew, because it's just more of you, and you're everybody's favorite. So just keep going, keep reading this. Shit, that's funny.
I've been dating my girlfriend for over 2 years. I earn $95,000 a year working in corporate finance, and she's a final year law student working part-time, earning around $40,000 a year, I think. I'm not a baller, obviously, but I live with my parents and have minimal expenses, live frugally, so I save a big chunk of my income. She, on the other hand, is really bad with money. She doesn't piss it away on drugs or gambling and stuff, but she'll buy expensive gifts for her friends or me, and she'll treat people a lot to food, drinks, Ubers, and stuff. And then I'll kind of skip through a little bit. I told her that financial incompatibility is the biggest reason for divorce, and currently we are financially incompatible, and this needs to be fixed if we want to have a good relationship. I'm very good with my money, but I'm not cheap. I spend it and have fun, but do it in a smart way that doesn't leave me broke. You need to start being smart with your money and stop seeing my money as yours. She got really mad and started calling me a selfish asshole and all this nonsense, but I'm just speaking facts here. If she views my money as also hers, that is basically going to enable her to continue pissing her money away and rely on me to be her personal ATM. Wow. Okay.
All right. What do you want me to go first? You want me to?
Yeah. Why don't you take the first crack here, and because I'm thinking on this.
You know,
I paraphrased. If you need any details, I skipped like 4 paragraphs here, but I did give you the gist of what this is about.
Does it give their ages?
Yes. He's 26. She's
Okay.
24.
Okay. No. So beginning of their lives. Adults, but definitely beginning in their lives. Man, I'm gonna probably shock people with this on who I'm siding with. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know that I think this person is an asshole. I think knee-jerk reaction is to say, yes, this person's an asshole because, what he's saying is this person is very giving. They're very they're very altruistic with their money. They love to shower people with gifts and things like that. But I do think that financial incompatibility is a huge it can be a big problem in relationships. I truly believe that. And I do think that if this person doesn't learn some frugality, especially when they're not making very much, it does affect the other person. I know in my previous relationships that this was an issue, and I
Which side? On which side? Were you the frugal one, or you were
in the past?
You are the most frugal person I know.
I am not, though.
The only thing I've ever seen you buy that I would categorize as frivolous is a motorcycle, which
I owned quite a few motorcycles at one point.
You've got a few.
But I try. I don't buy a lot of things. I don't own
almost
a lot of
nothing. You own like a very small collection of books. And you own 3 outfits of clothes.
Yeah, I am a minimalist. But I also, that wasn't necessarily it. I go out to eat a lot. I like to spend money on food and going to do things or concerts and shit like that. That's just where I spend my money. I'm not criticizing anybody who prefers material stuff, but that's where I spend my money. So I definitely spend, but in my previous relationship, I definitely think that the difference in how we spent and how we viewed money was a huge point of friction. I'm not even necessarily saying that one person in this scenario is right or wrong. I'm saying that they may be correct that this is an incompatibility and could cause real friction, because I do think it can cause serious cracks and fissures in a relationship. So I would tell this person, I don't think you're the asshole, and I'm not entirely sure your partner is the asshole. I just think
Somebody's gotta be. Somebody's gotta be.
I think that in this situation, you're not an asshole. You are just probably financially incompatible with that person. And I do think there is some truth to, if you, not necessarily that person coming to you, but if you can't find some common ground between the two of you, I do think it could cause problems down the road. That's my opinion.
Okay.
I'm curious to hear about yours, Andrew. What do you think?
Here's mine. This dude's 26 and living at home. No one gives a fuck what your opinion on money is, dude. You punted your opinion on
You're
what's
such a shithead. Why does that matter
frugal.
that he's living with his
You're 26. You live in a.
What?
You're not even participating in the real world. Go fuck yourself. You're not struggling.
Yeah, but this person's a college student and a career college student.
Not this 26-year-old. He's done with school. He's 2 years out of college.
Yeah, so he's already done it, but it doesn't matter. The person that he's talking about is not necessarily in the real world either yet.
No, she's not. She's not, and that makes sense. So yeah, her view of things that would make sense. It's like, yeah, she's 24. She's still in college. Your ass has been out of college for 2 years. You live at home with your parents. You're lecturing her on being frugal and about money and shit like that. You're not participating in the real world. You don't get to get up on a high horse and talk down to her because you're not paying rent. You're not paying bills. You're not struggling with this. I bet this asshole is on his parents' cell phone plan even. Get the fuck out of here with this high horse.
I don't
take
understand
it from me,
what
financial. What does that have to do with stuff? You're not in the real world. You're not.
He's
how
saving
can you,
money for later on in life. I don't fucking. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I
that
just
just
say,
because
I
he's
just say,
living.
do not lecture me about that. If you're living in the real world, you're paying rent, you're tackling all your bills, you have a budget, you're making all that happen. I think that gives you a different
Where
perspective
is
to
she
be able
living?
to tell
Does it
somebody
say where the partner is living?
she also lives with her parents.
So what
So
the
they
fuck?
both live with their parents.
So what
But
the
I'm
fuck?
saying, like, of course, like, why not have a more casual attitude about money? You're living a fantasy situation.
I really don't believe that's the issue. What I really believe is the issue will be is that they view money
Their
differently.
philosophy, yeah, their core philosophy about money is different. I think you're right. I've been in relationships where I've been the wealthy person, and I've been in relationships where I have not been the wealthy person. And my idea about money is like money is energy. It comes and it goes. Sometimes you're flush with it. Sometimes it can evaporate. You can like budget and plan so well, and you just get fucked. You just get like hammered on all sides by bullshit. As you know, your car got totaled. My kid just had to have all her wisdom teeth yanked. This shit just happens. Like, and you get sidelined by this stuff. But money comes and it goes. I try not to have a stressful attitude about it, but I've definitely dated people who did have stressful attitudes about it. But for this guy specifically, shut the fuck up until you're paying your rent and you're paying your bills. You are the asshole.
That's ridiculous. I disagree.
That's what I say.
I don't
That's what
think
I
you're
say.
the asshole. I think you're both financially incompatible. You better find some common ground. That's my opinion. I don't.
All right, well, we've got a disagreed one. I like that we disagreed. I thought that maybe we'd agree on all of them.
No,
I like that we disagreed.
No,
So you,
and my next one we may not agree on. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this one.
Give me one.
All right, here we go. Here's mine. Reddit number 2. Am I the asshole for wanting my dog on a leash? This is an interesting question. My spouse and I have had lots of disagreements over this. I'm of the opinion that the dog should always be on a leash, regardless of where/circumstances. We don't have perfect recall with him. If he sees another dog or a skunk, he will chase after it and would not listen to calls. My spouse feels that it's not a big deal to take him across the street and play ball with him, especially if it's late at night. Which of us is the asshole? And I'm going to let you start.
This person is absolutely not the asshole. Put your dog on a leash. The city is not a dog's natural environment. Like, they could see a squirrel, they could see a rabbit, they could see a cat, they could bolt out. I saw a dog run across the road. I was walking. This dog was probably running to get to my dogs. It got hit by a car and killed on 26th Avenue while we were walking because these people had it out in their front yard. They just thought, like, oh, it's our dog. It's like hanging out. It bolted across the road, probably to come check out my dogs, got hit by a car and killed right fucking there. Horrible thing. Horrible fucking thing.
What about if your dog's out, like, on a trail in the middle of nowhere? Like, will you let the dogs off leash ever?
Well, I'll put an asterisk. My dogs, they're huskies. They leave. They won't come back. Like, my dogs would just live outside. Like, my dogs have got to be on a leash. They would just like be gone.
They're the special forces of dogs. They'll disappear, and they're well equipped. You'll never find them.
Well, I hope they're acclimating to their new life in the foothills. Like, they would not. They would just be gone. So mine, they definitely, like, I've taken them camping in the wilderness, truly in the middle of nowhere, Utah, like off of the satellite map, and I had to put them. They were on a cable that was connected to my truck, and my friends were like, "You don't want to let them run around?" I'm like, "No," because they will go away and they will never come back, and I will just not have those dogs. So, but in this case,
well,
always,
you're a shitty warden too. I mean, you're a real bad warden.
Like, yeah, but in this case, absolutely keep. It sounds like this person actually knows their dog. They're like, we don't have perfect recall. I am concerned about this. You want your dog to get hit by a car just because it's chasing a fucking rabbit? There's rabbits all over our city at night. They're everywhere. There's cats. There's raccoons. You have no idea what unique animal is going to be the catnip. Like, my dogs, they saw a fox the other night. They go fucking crazy. I don't even know how they could tell a fox is different than just like a fancy dog. but they know it must be the smell or something. They went crazy for this fox. They went out of their fucking mind.
I love that the canine world is split between foxes and fancy dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they think it's like a drag queen dog. I don't know what they think. I don't know. But they went
What do you
crazy
think?
for this
What do you
fox.
think about people who take their dogs off leash on trails and things like that?
It drives me personally crazy because this is what happens with my dogs. My dogs are on a leash. We run into somebody with their dog not on a leash, and they're like, "Hey, don't worry, he's nice." And then their dog runs up to my dogs, and my dogs, they'll like basically spit roast him in a sniffer, where one husky's sniffing the head and the other husky's sniffing the butt.
Yeah.
And these dogs, they react negatively to it. They don't like feeling like that pressure. And then they'll get snappy. They'll be like barking and snarling. And then one of my dogs, she'll start like barking and snarling. It turns into this whole shit show. And I'm like, all of this could have been avoided if you just kept your dog on a fucking leash. I take my dogs to the dog park. I take them down to the Chatfield State Park. There's like special areas they can run around. They get great adventures. They have a great time. They're getting their exercise. But when we're in the city, you put them on a fucking leash for their safety and for other dog safety and for other animal safety.
Yeah.
I saw a fucking Akita kill a fucking cat in this shitty apartment I lived in Riverside. That's like one of the worst sounds that you will ever hear is
An
a
Akita?
fucking
Yeah, they're
dog
pretty annoying sound.
killing a cat.
Oh yeah, the cat.
Dude, it was horrible. And it's like, dude, you are responsible for this fucking animal. And especially in the case of a dog, it's like, what, 50, 60 pounds? It's a serious sized animal. And put it on a leash. Put it on a leash. Be responsible. This person is not the asshole. That's what I say. Ben?
Okay.
I'm fired up about this because I run into this bullshit all the fucking time.
Yeah, I've dated people who take their dogs off leash in the park, to throw the ball to them or when we're hiking out. I think most of the people because I've not owned a dog, but, when I lived with Jackson, the dog, he was always on a leash anytime we were out. It was a leash dog, even though I don't know that he would have gone anywhere necessarily. And then I would probably leash a dog. I would say this person is probably not the asshole. We're obviously in this Reddit only getting their side. I would say they're probably not the asshole. I understand why people want to take their dogs off leash. I understand why they want to give them the opportunity to run and be free. And it's kind of fun for them to not have to hold the leash and you just walk. And especially on trails. As a hiker, if I'm walking by somebody, admittedly, I don't have another dog. So it doesn't bother me when I see someone who's just letting their dog walk in front of them.
Yeah,
but
that's another thing. That's a great point you just brought up. It's a lot of dog owners, and I used to be this kind of dog owner. You just assume that everybody wants to meet your dog. You just think like, my dogs are cute and fun and friendly. Like, what's the problem? I was walking in LA by the Santa Monica Pier, letting my dogs just sniff people. And there's this black dude sitting on a bench, and I let them go over to him, and he like threw his hands up, and he looked at me, and he goes, "Hey, just because some people like your dogs doesn't mean everybody likes your dogs. I don't want those dogs around me." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like why did I just assume that my dogs just like automatically get a pass?"
You should have asked me that as your "Am I the asshole?"
with all these people. Like, why would I have done that? Well, I was the asshole because I just assumed.
That's what I'm saying. You see, everybody listening to that, he can't do the game because he always calls himself the asshole.
Because
He's
that's the
really
trick.
good at
I'm
self-diagnosing.
always the asshole. You can't wonder if you're the asshole if you already know you're the asshole. But that was a great moment where I was like, oh yeah, shit. Like, why have I just been assuming that every person is a dog person?
This is why I picked this one, Andrew, because I knew you would get fired up about it. Yeah. And I know you have strong
I got a bonus
feelings.
one for you. Cats. Should you let them outside or keep them inside?
Well, I mean, no one cares. You know what I mean? Like, no one gives a shit about cats. Yeah. I don't know. Who fucking cares? Honestly, if they're inside, they smell bad. And if they're outside, they don't smell as bad. So I'd say put them outside all the time. I guess cats outside all the time.
Abandon them if you can. Maybe there's like an abandoned sugar factory on the outskirts of town. Plenty of mice, plenty of rodents.
Cats are a weird one, you know. I mean, they're a lot different. They don't do as much damage. So I think, but it is. That's a really tough one. I think if they're spayed or neutered, let them outside if they want to be outside. You know, you just have to accept they may get hit by a car or something. But if they're, you know, we have a cat in our neighborhood named Spike, and he's always out. This cat's been out here forever, right in Baker, right downtown Denver. We always see him. I don't know how that cat has survived. But Andrew, I'm going to say, I'm going to go with you. I don't think that person is the asshole. I think that her concern sounds legitimate from the information that they are giving us.
Yeah.
If it's
And she
true,
even said-
her boyfriend's attitude, I think, is too lazy, too relaxed.
You don't gamble with the dog's life, and you don't gamble with other animals' lives, and you be a good fucking neighbor. Put a leash on the dog. There's some dogs. Granted, there's some dogs that are so well trained. It's like, yeah, obviously this dog, it's not going to be a problem. It's like answering the commands without fail. But I would say that 95% of the dogs you see, they're not going to be that way. All right, I got another one for you, Ben. I got another one for you.
My turn. Okay.
No, you just did the leash, so I'll
That's
give you
what
one
I'm saying.
more.
Yeah, you're reading me one. I'm ready to go.
Am I the asshole for telling my boss to apologize to my wife? My boss called twice at 5:50 a.m. I was in the bathroom. After I didn't answer, he called my wife at 5:55 a.m. and woke her up to get me. She later told me that she was super freaked out, thinking something happened to me, and she had no idea in the moment if I was home or not. It was over a customer machine that was not working that I was programming the day prior. I rushed in, and it was indeed working, albeit they suffered some downtime on third shift. Here I am burping through my sentence.
I love how
the
you didn't
garlic
change
dip.
the cadence from
It's a
reading the
garlic
letter.
dip.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was part of it. And I was like, that's crazy. Andrew's burping too.
I'm not getting any air.
Yeah. I'm worried about you. We shouldn't podcast at this hour anymore. All right, keep going.
This
Keep
is
going.
my digestive hour. I called him out in an email and said this was unacceptable behavior and demanded an apology to my wife. Am I absolutely crazy? To me, it's common sense to wait until 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. unless it's literally a matter of life and death.
Damn. All right, I'm going to say no, you are not the asshole. I think it was an overreach on your boss's part to call your partner for work. Honestly, I guess
Why does your boss have your wife's phone number?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
as
you
an
should-
emergency
maybe you need to have a
contact,
special
maybe.
conversation with your wife.
Well, that's not that uncommon for employers to have emergency contact
Yeah,
information,
that's true,
and if
that's
that's
true.
how they used it,
That is a good point.
I
Yeah.
would say, an overstep of boundaries, and I would most certainly say, but I don't know that I would ask them to apologize to my wife. I would probably ask, I would probably express it, and then be like, I feel like that was inappropriate, and expect an apology to me about it, that I could pass on. He apologized to that. But I think this one is going to be short and sweet. I don't think this person's the asshole. I think your boss was way out of line calling like that and talking to your wife. Like, there's no need for that. And I think that feels like this job doesn't have boundaries. Something's fucked up with the boundaries of this employer and whatnot. That's my opinion. I don't think they're an asshole. No.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, we're in 100% agreement because I'm always going to side with the workers and the employees, and fuck your boss. Definitely. If you can get your boss to apologize to your wife, tip of the cap to you. I don't think it's going to happen.
No,
I think
it sounds like
is probably
your
going to
boss
get
could
in
give two fucks about anything.
in trouble. But yeah, it sounds like the boundaries are all fucked up. It's even crazy that he's like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. It's like, when does your shift start? Because that's when it should start, unless you're on call. I know, like a lot of network admin jobs, things like that, you can be on call, and it's like, well, yeah, you could get called at any time. In that case, that would be different. It's like, well, they're trying to get a hold of you, and they're going to be calling you. But again, they should not be using the emergency contact info to call your wife about that. That's for when you have a stroke at work and aren't coming home.
Yeah, I would say if you were like a first responder or somebody like that, or maybe you're a surgeon on call, yeah, I could see that, but it doesn't sound like, although a piece of hardware could be a LAN administrator or something like that. I don't know exactly, but whatever that
sounds like
was,
an overreach by the boss, and hope you get that apology, bud.
Yeah, I'm with Andrew though. You're not gonna get that. That's not gonna fucking happen. But yeah, all right. Well, here's our last one. We'll make this the last one here.
Okay.
Let's do this. Since you've done 2, and this is my second, I'm really curious how you're gonna do this one.
Wait,
because
before you read it, let's take another quick break. We need another quick ad break, and I'm excited to hear what you've got to say. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to have Ben's final Am I the Asshole?
This has been fun, Andrew.
Plugs.
Do you notice how much we've got to talk and connect? And it's so cool when you're not just fucking being a sycophant to Adam's attitude and just because he wrote a movie.
Look, I'm angling to be in the next one, okay? Jesus Christ.
Why don't we take a quick break? We'll be right back in the third act with the fourth and final Am I the Asshole from Reddit. Thanks for tuning in on this special advice fight. Stay tuned for Act 3.
And we're back. We're back on the home stretch, baby. We've been having fun with Am I the Asshole? Ben, you've got one more for us. Let's hear it.
All right. I'm really curious about this one because this one could divide people, and I'm really curious.
I'm ready to be divided.
Am I the asshole?
Call me a fraction. I'm ready to be divided. Okay, I'm done.
Here we go. If I stopped neighbors' kids using my yard as a shortcut.
Okay.
My fiance and I bought our house a year ago, and our garden backs onto a large public car park. The play park, community center, bus stop, and the town supermarket are all off of this car park. This sounds like maybe it's overseas, I would imagine. Calling it a car park sounds like it's a park and ride or a big parking lot. The train station is just down the street at the front of our house.
It's definitely overseas if you've got a train station in the neighborhood.
Now, our home was empty for 3 years before we moved in, so people have been walking through our yard, fenced and gated at both ends as a shortcut. Otherwise, you have to walk down the street and basically around an entire block of houses.
Wait, people are going through the fence, the gate?
Yes. No, yeah. Now, ultimately, they are just walking through. Yes. That's it. There is occasional litter left in our yard, but they're not doing any real harm. It's kids. Part of me thinks, what's the big deal? Let them cut through. But the other part of me thinks, like, this is private property that we paid for. We have 4 children between 7 and 13, and if they're playing in the yard, I don't want random strangers just walking through.
This is crazy.
So would I be the asshole for locking the gates at either end of our garden to stop people, or am I just being possessive?
That's definitely overseas, dude. Over here where you just get shot immediately.
That's what I was thinking.
And it'd be like, make my day, law. You were in my backyard. Like, this is so quaint. What a quaint problem.
I almost got in
Am I the asshole for telling people not to be in my backyard?
I almost just got in a very, very violent fight over a parking space. I can't even imagine it in the U.S. Looking at the bottom, it says, note that I am in the U.K. is the head of the note at the end. So they are in the U.K. What I more want to ask you, and what I think is an interesting conversation, less about this, but it brings up, is I used to have a neighbor who had an open yard. We didn't have fences. And there were a lot of kids that would just play throughout the backyards because it was Maine and there's no fences dividing the yards. Big, huge open space, and kids would walk through or make trails coming back through school. And there was always a person who would flip the fuck out about it. And I've always kind of been like, neighborhood kids are kind of the exception to the rule with that, I think. They kind of
they roam around.
Yeah, they kind of make paths. Unless they're getting in shit or they're going to get hurt. It's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's part of a neighborhood.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
They're not like fucking with stuff. It's like, what's the what's the problem? I don't know. Yeah, in this specific case of this letter, I think this person is not the asshole, and I think they should put a lock on the gate and a little sign that says, like, no trespassing. Like, because there's kids, you want your yard, if you have a fenced backyard and you have 4 kids, you want to be able to put them in your backyard and kind of, like, not be worried about it. And if it's a thoroughfare for people coming and going, that's just like a bad idea on many levels. I'm
just shocked. Maybe it's the American thinking in me, and I don't know. I'm shocked that this is even. If there are fences, of course,
and a gate,
and these are just people who are using you as a shortcut between 2 blocks. Yeah, I would definitely stop that from happening. My American ass would be like, there's dogs. You know what I mean? Like, I'm allowed to kill you if you cross that line.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Hey, just so you know, I can fucking kill you next time you take the shortcut. Yeah, I don't think this person is the asshole, and I think that they need to condition people to stop using it. Because I can understand why people did it. There's a derelict house. It's been empty for 3 years. People just figured out, nobody lives here. Let's take a shortcut. It's just one of those cool things
those
where,
fences
like,
probably could just stay open the whole time, you know?
A community just learns that. They beat a path into the grass, and that's that. But now you live there, so you gotta take care of that. But as far as, like, open yards and, like, kids running around, to me, that's like, it's like fun. It's like, why not? You know, I think that's what I miss, like, growing up in, like, the suburbs, or I grew up in, like, Southeast Denver. It wasn't even, like, a suburb, but it was, like, a classic neighborhood. We would just roam around. We had, like, our parents would tell us the boundaries. It was like this street, you know, they'd basically give you the big square, and then we could just do whatever the fuck we wanted in that. We'd roam around people's front yards. We'd snoop over their fence. Like, that was just part of being in the neighborhood, and it was fun. And I feel like a lot of kids nowadays they don't have that.
I think in the neighborhood I grew up in Maine, like, I mean, this was a very small town, so, and, you know, we would walk back from school in groups of kids, you know, and a lot of it was wooded, and we'd come through people's backyards, across their back lawn and through back into the woods, because that was part of the trail we walked. I almost thought of us as sort of wildlife. Like, we were just kind of migratory.
I think of you like the cats of the neighborhood.
Yeah, the foxes. We were the foxes of the neighborhood who would beat a worn path, you know, going back and forth. And so I've always felt like that. When it's kids, it's like, you know, as long as they're not, like, about to. One thing we were doing for a while as a kid that we probably should not have been doing. You ever seen those giant electrical conduits
I knew it would come out. I knew that if I let you talk long enough, you would tell me exactly what
there was so much we shouldn't have been doing. But, you know, there was those giant electrical conduits.
Yeah.
They were like, they're covered in, they would be like, maybe it was an AC unit or something. It was a giant green, it was industrial. And there was like a church, like a function hall, like where they did bingo and shit. And they had it beside that. And that thing would hum and get real warm. And we would just lay on that. You know what I mean? And
like reptiles?
Yeah. And I remember, like, them being like, don't play on that. And we were like, fucking assholes, why do you care?
So fucking trashy.
Why don't
you get the fuck out of here, father? Why don't you go back to your fucking parish?
Now that guy was probably saving us from some form of hideous cancer you get from laying on a giant...
Guys, don't lay on the cancer box for the last time.
They would just be like, no, don't, like, because I'd be just like fucking draped over it like an iguana, stomach down. But it was warm, and it
hummed in a
sauna. And it hummed in a really nice kind of thing. And I always did. I never understood. So as kids, you can't understand. And I also, I remember a neighbor's mom saying, I just looked out the window and saw you fall out of a tree in my yard. Because we would climb the trees in a neighbor's yard, and that's when they put the kibosh. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm falling out of a lot of trees. Like, why is this? You know what I mean?" Oh man, I don't know how many trees I fell out of in other people's yards. I think that's But anyway,
yeah, kids
I would
roaming
say
around. What are you gonna do? I'd
if
say
it's kids, if it's neighborhood children, I say leave them be.
Yeah,
I say leave them be.
if it was specifically kids, I'd be like, okay, then maybe it's no big thing. But yeah, again,
Yeah,
I've
if
got
it's just all ages
ages-
neighborhood traffic.
yeah. If it's like
Yeah.
a dude going to work, like no, absolutely not. Walk your ass around. Yeah, that I think
This is a
think they're
very
not the asshole.
very UK question. The American side that I don't like all the time would say, "Nah, it's your property now." I would lock the gate just to keep your family safe but I mean, it sounds like a pretty small town as well. So, I mean, probably nothing would happen.
delightful problem to have.
I should have read it like that too. I should have.
problem.
My fiance and I have bought a house a year ago in our garden. Well, anyway,
Well, this was fun. We had a great time.
And those are our questions. Hey, listen, to everybody listening, we're going to be back next week with a regular episode of Advice Fight. We just didn't want to leave you hanging with nothing. We wanted to be able to connect with you all.
Yeah.
We wanted to be able to hear.
Just because it's a
feel
bye
you.
week doesn't mean we can't bullshit. That's our motto. That's our
Is that our
motto.
motto? Why do you sound like you're drunk now, dude?
Just because it's a bye week doesn't mean we can't bullshit.
I do. Can I tell you something real quick?
course.
Can I be raw with you now that Adam's not here?
He's
I do miss
raw.
you. I do miss you being an alcoholic and drunk all the time.
Oh, thanks. That means a lot.
You weren't like a bad person to be around when you were drunk. You were a lot. You were a lot more fun, and I'd like it if you started drinking.
Well,
again.
other people have said that too. So
all the times you tried to open mouth
Thanks.
kiss me,
Thanks.
it really I miss those times now. No, Andrew, this was fun spending time with you. Thank you for doing this, man.
yeah, a little something different. If you have problems you need advice on, no question too stupid, no question too small, no question too serious. Send them to us. You can DM us on our Patreon, which is
Individual,
free
yep.
to sign up. You can email us. What's the email again, Ben? It
is questions at advicefight.com. You can also send us messages through our individual social media as well as on the @Grolix comedy page.
However
we
they
love
get
hear.
to us.
And
The
you
shorter
can
the
form
better,
it in the question,
shorter.
am I the asshole?
Yeah, send us an Am I the Asshole. We'll get into it. But yeah, the shorter, the better your chances of them getting on the pod. Big thanks to producer Ron Doyle for chopping this together in the depths of the night.
Although I don't think there's a lot to chop, producer Ron. This one felt like a fucking swish.
Swish, yeah. Take the night off, Ronnie D.
Yeah. Mike Henderson, big thank you. Big thank you,
yeah.
Mike Henderson.
Plan
you always
9
do the best sound. Yeah, it's
great.
Plan 9,
Charlie
great guy.
Continental,
No, I
banger
love
theme
Charlie.
song. Banger
Yeah, he
theme
does
song.
that banger theme song. Follow us everywhere on social media @Grolix Comedy.
Grolix Comedy.
That is everywhere. Wait,
Adam
wait.
wanted us to plug something. May
He did,
28th
yes.
Comedy Works.
Yes.
Take it up with Adam. I'm not giving it a deluxe plug.
No.
This This weekend, the 15th to 16th, I'm going to be headlining the Denver Comedy Lounge. It's right here in downtown Denver at the Colorado Sake Company. It's got a proper little comedy club in the back. The shows are going to be fun. You can drink all kinds of crazy sake. They've got like Japanese bar food. Make a night of it. Make a date of it. Whatever you got to do. Come down and check out those shows. And then November, what am I talking about? May 20th? Why did November pop in my head?
I was like, damn, dude.
I'd like to get my plugs out of the way. Then November 10th, catch me in Sheboygan. I don't know. I have truly no idea why November popped in my head. May 20th, it's the 16th anniversary of the Narrators. It's going to be a banger lineup of storytelling. We're going to be
It's already been
celebrating
16 years, dude. That's wild.
16th anniversary of the Narrators, the storytelling show I run with producer Ron and our good friend Aaron Rollman at the Buntport Theater. Ben, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to plug it right now. Next week, May 20th, movie night returns. Adam, Rory Scovel, and I, we're going to be roasting another movie and telling jokes. It is a great comedy show. But more importantly, more than anything, what I want to plug is this massive Grawlix live show we have this month on the 30th. Holy crap, this lineup. Zach Peterson is coming in. Laura Peak is coming in. Leah Altoff is going to be there. This is a great, great lineup.
It's absolutely going to sell out, so please pounce on those tickets so
Laura
you don't
Peak
have to
is
be
blown
stressed.
Up. Zach is at his
I don't
peak.
have to be stressed.
Yeah,
Laura Peak, one of the funniest people in the game.
Yes,
easily.
so funny. Zach Peterson is crushing right now, and that Leah, she's funny. This whole show is going to be amazing. And guess what, Andrew? It's just you and I again. It's just you and I on this one because Adam is out of town. Adam is out of town that weekend.
Night.
And so you're going to get more of this magic chemistry you felt today on that show. So please come down, spend the evening with Andrew and I on that show and an amazing lineup of comedians. Otherwise, that's our episode. Next week, we will be back with a regularly formatted episode of Advice Fight. In the meantime, we love you all. None of you are assholes. You are all in the right. Remember that. Not a single
pander
asshole.
to them.
I'm not
I
just
think
getting
there's a
plug.
few assholes.
Nah,
in
I
there.
doubt it. I doubt it. But anyway, play us out, Charlie.
We're here to help most are just fine. Advice fine. I think I'm wrong, cause I know I'm right. Advice fine. I say advice, you say fight. I say advice, you say fight. Advice, fight, advice, fight, advice, fight, advice, fight. Advice fight.
It's almost 8 p.m.
I know. We got to go to bed, dude.